Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
Welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. But for our radio audience at WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com, we're glad that you all could be with us. Also, tuning in to our friends at iHeartRadio and Amazon Music Podcast. We're glad you all could be with us as well. Well, unfortunately, one of the big issues for any of us that's online these days, we have to worry about not only, of course, our own security, but also where we're putting our information. And I'm so excited to welcome to our program today Dennis Weiss. He's the founder of IPQualityScore. It's a company that helps people and companies not only get rid of the bots and fake accounts online, but also to be able to feel a little bit safer online as well. We're talking about how it all began, the services that he offers, and of course that you guys know where to go for more information. Dennis, thank you so much for the time today. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for the time. Excited to be here.
Dennis, this is an important topic, as you know, because, this is something we hear about all the time. We always are hearing about these fake accounts. We're hearing about bots. We're hearing about people not feeling safe online because of scammers. What has it been like for you through IPQualityScore to be able to provide a service that helps people feel a little bit safer online?
Yeah, it feels amazing that we're able to provide something like this. This has been in the workings for about 10 years with the previous company that I started. And it's just great to be able to give back and kind of protect people and companies. And, it seems to give a better product in the end for all these people. So,
I'm always curious, especially when I talk to founders and entrepreneurs, Dennis, about the why. I know that safety is such an important topic, especially online safety. What was the why for you, though, that made you say, you know what, this is something that I want to be a part of the solution for it?
Yeah, it kind of spiraled from my first company, as I was mentioning. So I started an advertising company about 10 years ago. We were doing really well, but, we were running into so many bots, fake accounts, fraud, whatnot. We tried to find a solution online, and nothing was working. So we kind of built our own algorithms, our own systems, and we got really good feedback on the quality of traffic we were getting. So then that was my why moment, like, hey, this feels good because I'm doing something, I'm stopping fraud. Why don't we turn this into a SaaS? So quickly after that, IPQS became a SaaS. And now we stop fraud for Fortune 10s, Fortune 500s. We're everywhere. We're even launching a consumer product that is eventually going to help consumers like stop fake phone calls coming in, stop malware from hitting them, and just kind of giving them the upper hand against fraud.
Yeah, Dennis, does it surprise you? This is one of the things I was talking to one of my friends about recently. With all the advancements that we've made, does it surprise you that it continues to be just as easy for people to be able to interrupt their lives the way they are with the bots, with the scammers? Does that surprise you that we have seen that evolution as well?
So what I'd like to say there is I believe fraudsters are some of the smartest people in the world. Money is a big motivator, and sometimes they just want to go and have a good time, so they kind of use this as their escape. So it doesn't surprise me that fraud is a thing because it's available. Anyone can do it. But what does, make me very curious is why isn't it being stopped? A lot of competitors and a lot of companies, what they do is they try to implement a team to stop fraud, but fraud never sleeps. So implementing a team doesn't really help. Implementing a 24/7 solution like IPQS is actually what's going to start stopping the fraud. And having a tool that does what ours does, 24/7 protection is there, but then also, we have coverage from email information, phone validation, device fingerprinting, IP reputation. We just kind of have the whole picture there, so we're able to stop fraud for all of our clients.
Yeah. So let's talk about how this works and Dennis, if there is someone who's out there, an entrepreneur that's out there, a small business that's out there, and they're listening to this conversation, how can they best benefit from what you've been able to build?
Yeah, so they can definitely use our tools and stop fraud. A lot of new businesses that start, they get hit with fraud very quickly. There's automated fraud out there. There's direct fraud out there. But using a tool that's there 24/7 lets you sleep at night while, we stop fraud for you. But my recommendation to all entrepreneurs is if you ever think you have a good idea, make sure you act on it. Don't try to plan it out and try to, think of the best way to stop everything. The best way you're going to get started is to get out there and get going. And then also on top of that, you just got to go.
Dennis, the thing I noticed when I was on the website, and we're going to be, of course, sharing that more with our audience for the radio side, but for those joining us online through iHeartRadio and Amazon Music, you guys will see it. It's actually in the notes for this conversation. It's IPQualityScore.com. Again, it's IPQualityScore.com, and we'll be reminding you guys of that as we go throughout the broadcast. What impressed me so much, Dennis, I wanted to kind of break down a little bit, is that there are so many different types of fraud that's out there, in situations where we end up with people, of course, trying to get us to click on links that are not legitimate, or we're dealing with issues when it comes to email. Talk to us about how you've been able to build that since this all began. Did you know going in that these were areas you wanted to tackle, or did it kind of evolve as the company has evolved?
Yeah, so that goes back to saying just get started and get going, because when we got into it, we weren't really looking at that kind of data, but now that we see that there's a need for it, we've built solutions for it. So we have, malware detection tools. We have tools that will look at the website URLs, and we'll be able to tell you if there's any malware on there or any phishing scams are coming from those email domains. So it's definitely something that evolved.
So I have to then talk about the other side. You're offering these services. How does it feel to hear from your customers, from your clients, about how much safer they're feeling online because of what you've been able to offer through IPQualityScore?
Yeah, it's great to hear that stuff. I was at a trade show a couple weeks ago, and someone came up to me and they said, "Hey, I'm using your free plan, and you cut my chargebacks down from 35% to 5%. And I was like, "Hey, if you want to lower it than 5%, let's look at our upgraded plans to try even more data."
Wow. And see, that's the kind of thing I think that entrepreneurs in particular, I think, that excites them as well. Speaking of that, Dennis, is the entrepreneurial journey, is that one that you always knew was for you?
Definitely. Since I was a young kid cutting lawns to starting my first advertising company, just always looking for that entrepreneur feel. I mean, I love chasing that. I love building companies. I love building teams. The big importance to scaling a big company is making sure you have the right team. So all of that gives me a rush, and I love it.
Yeah. And with that team, I mean, one of the things I noticed, again, when I was on the website prepping for this segment is that, I mean, being able to know that you're able to cover people literally globally. I mean, to be able to have that type of opportunity. And I think, again, giving that type of assurance for people, especially for the older individuals out there, those are most vulnerable. So I want to talk about that, if you don't mind, Dennis, because I'm curious, when it comes to, when you're hearing from individuals, are you finding there are certain age groups that feel more susceptible to these attacks, these fraud attacks, or are you finding that generally it's just something that entrepreneurs in general are concerned about?
I mean, it's every age that's affected. Like, a lot of people will think that it's the older generation that's affected because they're clicking on phishing links and things like that. But honestly, I have close friends that have run into fraud. It happens to everyone. I mean, if you're caught with the reason why you get so many phishing emails is because they're trying to catch you off guard. Maybe you had a rough day, or maybe you're just really busy and you click on a link, you put in your stuff, and then you're like, "Oh no, I can't believe I just did that." So everyone is susceptible to it, and it's any age group.
And again, that's why this conversation is so important. I want to say, for those who are just tuning in, you're listening to Conversations Live. Dennis Weiss is our guest today. Dennis is the founder of IPQualityScore. We're talking with him not only about what it's been like for him to help people and companies to get rid of these fake accounts and scammers we were just talking about, but also the satisfaction he gets as an entrepreneur as well. So, Dennis, what's coming up? What is it that you're looking forward to when it comes to the company? Yeah,
so as I mentioned earlier, we are working on a consumer edition. So taking all of this data that we've learned from businesses, interacting and having fraud issues, like, we're turning that into a consumer product, and that's kind of what we're looking at next.
All right. So, again, that website for our audience is IPQualityScore.com. Again, it's IPQualityScore.com. For those joining us on iHeartRadio and Amazon Music, the link is also with the notes. For those joining us on the radio side, we'll make sure that we post it on our Facebook page. Dennis, thank you so much for the time today. Really appreciate it, and looking forward to speaking with you again.
All right. Thanks a lot for your time, and hope to hear you soon.
All right, same here. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying, as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. Now let's go make today amazing. Take care.